sales is changing, and a lot of us in the companies are confused between role of sales. This is a very honest confession. Is it hunting, get new customers, or is it farming, leverage current relationships in sales to sell more and sell deeper and sell wider in companies? So this is where we used to have a very easier world earlier. Hunting was sales and farming was service, but now we're seeing that the worlds are colliding. They're coming together. There are challenges which are external facing. For example, our clients are now leading the conversation. They no longer rely on us to get the basic information about the products or services we have to sell. Buying authority in our customer accounts is changing fast. When we go through upheaval in a business cycles, some of the decision makers lose their buying powers and it gets delegated to the higher authority. So buying authority is very fluid. It changes from company to company, from quarter to quarter, from month to month. So there are no longer definitions of one decision maker and many influencers. It's very fluid. There's a proliferation of buying channels, distributors, global, Indian, local. In many ways, customers can get to know about you, can reach you. So there's no longer one direct sales channel. There's of course, online sales as well. Internally, as a salesperson, you're grappling with some other tactical changes. Sales has become very fast-moving, multiple products, matrix structures, multiple geographies, dynamic pricing, complex solutions, quota pressures. So there's a lot more happening internally that you need to grapple with and stay on top of. Essentially, a salesperson carries two egos, two personalities, one customer-facing and one internal-facing. And that's where there's a lot of balancing you have to do to manage expectations internally and externally. There's a very short-term mindset of what is called as growth marketing, growth sales. And of course, ROI is always in question. Headcounts are getting expensive, harder to get in terms of approvals. And that's what you'll grapple with if you're building your sales function or if you're working as part of sales teams. So these are few disconnects I see around me. So that's making the situation a little complex and fairly dynamic in which sales today has to operate. If you look at how sales function has been disrupted, we used to have fixed categories, B2B, B2C, B2G, and now it's all changing. It's all a hodgepodge of what is a B2B. When you start selling online, are you B2B or are you B2C? Are you D2C or all of them? So companies are actually looking at sales performing functions across many categories and many niches. We used to have a sales funnel which was linear. You started with prospecting, then you went through sales stages and closed a business. Nowadays, customers can engage with you very advanced in the sales funnel, not starting from getting education and awareness through you. Customers are actually using up to 57% of their digital journey, of the buying journey through digital medium. Essentially what I'm saying to you, before a customer now calls you or fills up a form and says, call me, they've actually done more than half their buying journey in terms of discovering and learning about your products. Mostly through digital media, your websites, other channels, social media channels, and also a lot of closed groups, community groups where they'll pop a question about, hey, this is the need I have. Which vendor should I call? And if you're not being featured in those conversations, then you're missing out on a lot of good customer referrals. Role of the salesperson. Is it about selling now or has it switched to helping them buy? This is a very big shift and we'll discuss this more. Disrupted sales management hierarchy. You used to have a reporting manager to area sales manager, and there's a formal structure. Nowadays, you would be in conversations internally, externally, where you're talking to CEO of your company or different business heads. You'll have a matrix structure. You'll not have a linear structure, not directly reporting only. You'll have dotted lines in multinationals. You'll be reporting to product P&L head as well, and of course your own sales leadership. So it's a matrix. And then a lot of our sales prospects, a lot of our customers have a lot of information. They're drowning in information, there's information overload, but they're still thirsty for knowledge and insights. And that perhaps is one of the most crucial functions we in sales can perform with our communities, which are our customers. What is the role of sales and marketing in this? In fact, one of the questions I often ask to professionals and MBA students is, what is sales and what is marketing? A Earlier, we used to have a blurry distinction. A lot of salespeople would call themselves as marketing, and marketing would often take quota for sales. What is sales and marketing? But when I ask this question, I get varied answers. And none of those answers are wrong, essentially. But let me give you a very simple definition of what sales and marketing is, at least in my book's one-line definition. Perhaps if you like it, you can use it. Something I've learned by hard experience. Sales is when you call the customer. Sales is when you call the customer, when you interrupt the customer. An email from you, campaign email, promotion, advertising. These are all sales tactics, sales campaigns. So sales is when you call the customer. Marketing is when the customer calls you. They find out about you, your service, your product from someplace, some experience, some word of mouth, start getting in touch with you. They sign up for your newsletter. They engage with your newsletter. They attend your programs. They come to your webinars, events. They download your application, try your software, try your service, sign up for a beta program. All of these are tactics through which customers reach out to you. And so sales is when you call the customer. Marketing is creating conditions when the customers call you. So push versus pull. If push is sales, pull is marketing. And I'll give you an example later about connected sales and marketing, where you can think of sales as field force and marketing as air cover. If you use the battle definitions, war battle definitions, and how battles are won, we can discuss it for a short while little later. Look at marketing. Marketing is about content, media, strategy, getting in touch with networks, building communities, understanding digital algorithms, and being long-term focused. There's a difference between sales and marketing, the way that marketing looks at next 3 months, what business to close, and essentially sales looks at next 3 months to close, and marketing looks at beyond 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. How can we build more share of wallet, share of voice for our customer segments? So sales and marketing, I thought I'll just share a little bit with you what I see or what I have felt or what I've experienced. But there are a lot of factors uniting sales and marketing, and understand them because they're key for your success. One is customer focus. The second is market engagement. Both of you are out there. Both of you are outward functions. Both of you bring revenues. Both of you impact customer satisfaction, customer acquisition, customer retention. So are key functions in a way. So that's your unity that you want to build on. That's the unifying factor between sales and marketing. Let's move ahead to now 5 best practices partnering with marketing. And let's go through them in detail with specific examples. So many of you may be familiar as part of your theoretical understanding or sales automation that we go through something called selling stages or 7-step sales process. Some companies have 5-step sales process, essentially from acquiring a customer interest, converting that into a lead to a quote to a contract, and contract to an order to fulfillment, and of course, collection. So how do you go with these different selling stages? And the complex the sale, essentially the larger the sale value, if you're selling something for $10 or 10 rupees, there's a different selling stages, mostly online. But if you're selling multi-million-dollar contracts, at Microsoft, I was responsible for working with sales to achieve a very high target every year, close to $700 million of licensed sales revenues in India. Those kind of numbers where each salesperson carries a few $1 million every year sales quota cannot be achieved by one person. It's a team selling. It's a collaborative selling. At every step of the selling stage, you have to engage with different stakeholders. So collaboration is key. And that's the point I want to highlight here is understanding that sales is leading the charge, but is not the lone warrior in the game. That's key for you. And that's where marketing also has a role to play at every step. We'll discover this in more detail. But great sales leaders understand that this is a collaboration. This is a team collaboration. Many good salespeople I have worked with also understand how to manage customer interface, but not become a control freak on customer interface. If marketing wants to reach salespeople, if executives want to go, if marketing wants to reach customer contacts, if CXOs in your company want to engage with CXOs in your customer account, prospect account, a good salesperson knows that the more people from my company that I can start interfacing with the customer account in a large account sale, better it is for me. So at every selling stage, collaboration is key, and collaboration with marketing is key. Be it prospecting, be it pre-sales research. We'll discuss some of this in more detail. But one of the ways you can collaborate very effectively is becoming a manager of customer interface with your organization. Pre-sales, sales, post-sales, contract, negotiation, customer relationships later. Do not try to become a control point and limit how many of your colleagues in your company can connect with who all in customer accounts. Do not delegate 100%, but manage those relationships proactively. If there are multiple folks in your organization interfacing with multiple customer connections, many connections in the customer account, manage those relationships proactively. Create those relationships proactively. That's key. So selling stages is very, very key. And in every step, understand what role marketing can play. Marketing can help you in more than one of this. For example, if you take any one of them, make contact and build rapport, relationship building with your customer accounts and key contacts in those customer accounts. Marketing can definitely help you. Collaboration with marketing is key, and good sales leaders understand the power of collaboration and not lone warrior selling. So we have to get away from that part. Marketing can help you in research about your customers and about what they can do for you. So KYC is know your customer. I would say let's extend it beyond just knowing basics of the customer. Let's look at researching your customers. So build critical customer intelligence using marketing functions like research. Marketing has access to databases. Marketing has access to competitive intelligence. Marketing has access to competitors' product analysis. Marketing, again, there are many functions in marketing. Product marketing is different from field marketing. Brand marketing is different from references marketing. So there's a lot of marketing functions, but know how they can help you in you understanding your customer accounts better. Now, there could be two types of broadly sales folks on this call. One, managing very large number of customers, but the per order customer value may be smaller. And there could be some of you who are managing very finite customer relationships, very limited customer relationships, large account relationships. And then each of those customers has the potential or gives you a revenue, which is a sizable number. The higher the account value per order, the more customer intelligence you need to have. I have seen salespeople use 80% of their time researching on a customer account and building the proposal, and only 20% on pitching that proposal to the customer. I've seen unsuccessful salespeople do the opposite. They're 20% on research on the account before they call the customer to pitch, and they're anxious to go and pitch, and post-pitching, when the customer doesn't engage, they feel that they have lost the deal and they lose the enthusiasm. A good salesperson uses 80% of the time researching before the proposal is given, qualifying the prospect, asking tough questions, negotiating good amount of stuff, knowing a lot about the customer information before they actually send the proposal. And if you send the proposal by email, I think we all know where that goes. But the other part of the slide is about RYM. Research your marketing. Ask them, what are your KPIs? What are your marketing budgets like? How do you plan to spend those marketing budgets to reach your marketing goals? Each of us these days, each function in companies these days has a scorecard. There's a scorecard approach, balanced scorecard approach. Do you know what marketeer's scorecard is? Do you know CMO's KPIs? Do you know the marketeer that works with you, product marketeer, field marketeer, or IMCs? What is their goal? What are they incentivized on? There is a significant part of their KPIs that is about customers. And the more you can partner with them to help them meet those objectives, the more they're willing to partner with you. There's a question I got on LinkedIn when Juno folks wrote about the session. One of the questions that came to me was how to elevate your perception as sales in front of marketing. Marketing always thinks of themselves as more strategic, more intellectual. They have the marketing dollars. This is the one way, which is understanding their budgets, understanding their quarterly numbers. So I'll give an example. In one of the multinationals I used to run marketing for in India, head of marketing in India, I had a goal called, I had to deliver some numbers to the pipeline. So I had to give 10% of all sales new leads every month, every quarter from marketing function, campaigns and all that stuff. The second KPI I has to carry was, can I accelerate the pipeline that's already built by sales, other activities, leading towards faster closure? So the typical sales cycle in this category was 6 weeks for a product. Can I accelerate that sales pipeline through marketing engagements? And of course, there were three more KPIs, including the customer advocacy program. Can I turn customers into brand ambassadors? So if you see the first two ones, I could not do it without sales. So understanding your marketing's budget, understanding your marketing's headcount, matrix structure, who are the employees in marketing. Please understand as much as you can about marketing. Formally, informally, have a cup of chai with them. Take them to one of your sales calls. They will love it that you're volunteering to take them to field. They do not have the customer interaction that you have, the richness of it, the quality and quantity of it. That's your secret weapon. And if you start by offering yourself first, saying, look, I'm happy to help in any form of fashion or form in my territory, in my set of accounts, they'll be happy to partner with you. Many companies these days have marketing budgets which are tag teamed with sales. So they will say, if solution selling team works on a particular project, then this part of the marketing budget will go towards creating POCs. So marketing is no longer about just putting out on the website. There's a lot of KPIs which are around you to help you. Now you may say, Punit, I'm fairly low in the sales hierarchy. Why will somebody in marketing tell me? One, this is about collaboration. And I have seen even the frontline business managers proactively leverage the relationship with marketing, formal, informal, formally through their sales hierarchy. So for example, they would request their sales leadership in their monthly sales review, quarterly sales review, to bring in the marketeer for their segment to share what are their plans for customer acquisition or customer retention or relationship building. So your sales leadership can actually request marketeers to come and brief you on what they plan to do for you and how can you collaborate. Essentially, I've seen some great salespeople, when they close a deal, a very large deal or a significant deal, they would actually send some goodies back to marketeers. Just a cake. Just say, hey, you guys help me with my demo. You're a product marketer. This is for you. They may have closed $500,000 deal, and a cake doesn't mean much. But guess what? It's that those little touches. After all, it's about interpersonal awareness and human relationships. So informally also, you can get to know a lot about what they have as marketing budgets and KPIs and how you can use them effectively for your success. Many times, marketeers are looking for your ideas on customer engagement. So please participate. If a marketing team invites you saying, hey guys, this is our marketing plan for next quarter. We're setting up a live meeting. Please join us. Do not poo-poo it. Please join them. Please tell them this will work, this will not work. The more vocal you get, guess what? The more share of their mind share and their budget share will align with you. So understanding your marketing, hip jointed with them, is very key to your success. I have seen that 60-70% salespeople do not understand marketing. They desist marketing's outreach to customers. They don't want to engage with marketing. They only know mera sales manager, mera RM, mera CEO, usi ko manage karne ka. They're missing out on a significant ally. Some of you may still be single. So they say there's a wingman concept. When you go out in a bar, pub, social space, have a wingman. Marketing can be your best wingman. Trust me. I'm not talking as a salesperson. They love you if you start collaborating with them, and they'll keep some of your secrets. Don't worry. So this is the second of the 5 best practices. Smart sales leaders understand how to leverage marketing. They'll tell my marketing, yaar tu to boss hai, tere paas sare paise hain. Some ego massage, but they'll be very prudent, very sharp in making sure some of those marketing dollars, campaigns land up in their patch. with current relationships or new relationships they want to create. I'll be happy to share more examples of how smart salespeople in my teams have leveraged marketing initiatives and created very different custom programs for themselves. Okay, let's move on to. So this brings me to the point of connected sales and marketing. I gave you a definition of sales and marketing earlier. This is my second definition, more visual. If you think of marketing as air cover, aircrafts which can do a wider span coverage, very target precision bombing, but ultimately it's the field engagement. It's those Marines, it's those soldiers on the field which have to go and capture the territory. That's one way to look at sales function. So in this case, the air carpet bombing could be marketing or parts of marketing, and then field forces engagement on the field, the army, the platoon, and then the army giving feedback back to, in this case, marketing. Hey, this targeting was not good. This event was not good. You've sent me 18 marketing qualified leads in last 1 week, boss. Kya ho raha hai? Only 5 of them have qualified to become sales qualified leads. This is the way you make it work. If you're a political history buff or military history buff in India, we lost 1962 war with China because our air cover never happened. We didn't lose the war because our field forces, our field army was not up to the mark. They did the best they could have done. But we lost the war not because our field force was not courageous, but because we did not give them air cover. One of the fiascos we have seen as a nation. Anyway, so you get the picture. This is connected sales and marketing, and they cannot do without you. If they bomb the territory and go back and don't get the territory, they've lost the game. So what is connected sales and marketing, and how I've seen great sales leader leverage connected sales and marketing? Align with their goals, budgets, campaigns. All of you in sales, please take that first step. Marketeers are not bad people. They may have an ego on the intellect side. I'm an MBA from top B school. Let them be. But if you open up, I'll assure you, let me promise you on behalf of each of the marketeers in my marketing fraternity, they will receive it with open hands, with warmth. They'll offer you a cup of coffee. Understand their marketing budgets. Understand their campaigns. Every product will have a unique campaign around their KPI. The entire budget will be spent. I had a multi-million-dollar budget at a leading MNC in India, one of the best MNCs in the tech sector. But each of my marketing dollars or marketing rupees were hip jointed with a sales segment or some sales motion. So if the salespeople knew this proactively, they'll tell me, Punit, ye karna hai. In this quarter, in this geography, we have so much of renewal coming up for an annuity business. Can we do an engagement around that? But before that, they would understand ki mera campaign kaun sa hai, which is the campaign I'm rolling across India, or which is the global campaign coming to India. The more you understand marketing and where the money is, the more effective you'll be. Of course, many of you are familiar with MQLs, SQL. One of the key KPIs for marketing is giving you qualified leads. So first one is marketing qualified leads, and that you convert into sales qualified leads. And we used to use a criteria called BANT: budget, authority, need, explicit need, and timeline. If a prospect has a budget, yes. Has an authority to buy, yes. Explicit need to buy, yes. Timeline defined to buy, yes. Then only becomes a sales prospect. Now that's the ideal world. Typically, if you get 2 out of the 4 as yes, I think they're good to be qualified as a sales prospect. That's what most companies implement. I'm not sure how much of this is covered in your sales program, educational program, but this is a key part where marketing and sales have a handshake regularly. If you want them to improve the quality of leads they give to you as marketeers, don't poo-poo them. Don't just criticize them. Give them direction. Saying, look, you are going to the right companies, but you're going to very low-level contacts. Or you can tell them, they have the budget, they have the authority, but the prospects you're sending to me don't seem to have the need explicitly defined or the timelines specifically defined. So can you help me in that part as a follow-up campaign? All I'm saying to you is, do not just be a dull, boring recipient of MQLs, and don't just say, inse to kabhi aayega nahi. Smart people never give up on their marketing. They handhold them, they push them, they cajole them, they mentor them for customer relationships. They take them to field. बोले एक बॉस को मत बोलना, तुझको आज फील्ड में लेके चलता हूँ, चल कस्टमर से मिलके आते हैं. Marketer feels very happy. Each time you meet a customer, you are in a sales relationship. You are in an aggressive, time-bound relationship. Marketer meets a customer, it's a very different level of conversation. There's less of sales pressure. So marketers will get very different insights from customer visits. And the next point is represent your customer in marketing discussion. Inside your business, you represent your prospects, you represent your customers, and more so when you're talking to marketing teams around you. And they love you for this. So the successful sales champions I've seen understand their customers like nobody else in our business. That's how they get a respect. It's not the clothes you wear. It's not the perfume you wear. It's not the articulation in English. It's not the language skills. It's how much you know about the customer and how you're able to represent company in front of the customer and the customer in front of your internal employees. You don't have to be a product technology specialist of all products that you're selling. You're not a domain specialist. You're not a functional specialist. You're a relationship manager in many ways. So representing your customer inside your business is key, specifically in discussions with marketing. Hey, Punit, if you did this for me, I'll put you in touch with Mr. Arora, who's the CIO of this company. He'll be happy to come and talk. You're the landing expert. One, this happens by default. You're a salesperson. You'll get campaigns landing for you, MQLs coming to you. But the second part, you're also a field intelligence officer. We in companies rely on you, especially in marketing function, to build market sizing, customer intelligence, market intelligence, competitive intelligence. And you are a frontline person. When you offer this insight to marketers, they love you. They want to become your best buddies. Marketers can in turn help you with richer customer communication. There's a famous book, What to Say After You Say Hello. Marketers can give you a lot of ammunition to stay in touch with your customers with very rich customer communication, case studies, events, white papers. It can go from a marketing team also, but they rely on you to land those richer customer communications. So that enriches your relationship with the customer. A good salesperson is the one who's not present all times, but definitely not missing outside of the sales deals. A good salesperson doesn't just show up to sell and go. They're also around to make sure the customer is going through their journey of finding those results you had promised. As sales, we promise a certain change towards something better for our customers, right? That's why they buy from us, product, services, anything they buy from us. A sales job doesn't end by just selling and running away and leaving everything to service. That's the old school, old model. Nowadays, sales has to also look at onboarding the customer experience. There'll be pain points. Change is not easy for customer companies. Helping them through this, through multiple stakeholders who partner together. And if you stay on top of that, then your connection with the customers will be richer. And also, marketers can help you build a better personal brand. Speaker opportunities for yourself, more face time in front of key stakeholders internally, helping you build better profile on LinkedIn. A lot that can happen. I've seen some smart people become moderators for sessions, online sessions. They become moderators. They interview sales accounts on stage. Some good sales managers also become industry's voice on industry, company's voice on industry platforms. So good marketers can also help you prop up your personal brand on LinkedIn, offline, and that's very enriching in the long term for you. So understanding campaigns, what marketers plan to do anyway, how will it land in your patch, and using that to your success is key about CSM. I'll take you to part number 4. Now we know campaigns, we know IMCs, what they work on, but this is the latest thing to do with our business, which is sales. Account-based marketing is no longer the hottest buzzword, but is the key through which you manage large account relationships. If you want marketing to go deeper in the customer accounts you're trying to target, Now marketing can work with ABM approach, account-based marketing approach, to help you open up your prospect base. This is not a spray and pray. This is not a campaign which lands across 2,000 prospects in India. This is very targeted, very focused engagement. And this you should review with your marketing team to create specific engagements around your funnel. So for example, if you find that 20% of your sales prospects are in the negotiation stage, but need a proof point, need another nudge to help close the deal more effectively, can you create a specific meeting between your top execs and their top execs? If the number of such clients is a lot more, can you create a small roundtable where you feature an expert in that area, a customer expert or a company expert, and help them build more confidence? So these are not mass events. These are not publicized events. They're very focused. Can you do a digital day platform or something in the customer account? If you're selling to a large manufacturing company, can you host their employees in the canteen or in the cafeteria and auditorium to talk about the particular area where you're a specialist? All of this nudges the customer contacts in closing the deal. So review with your marketing team your sales funnel. Hey guys, I'm stuck here. What can we do? And let marketers come to you with specific account-based marketing initiative. ABM, please go back. I don't know if you have ABM lecture in your sales management course, but account-based marketing is the hottest way to engage with marketing. There's a lot of information available online, and you can look at this part. I am not covering a lot of automation in my presentation with you because I'm looking at best practices. But a lot of times when your funnel is automated, when you put all your funnel online on a CRM tool, a sales automation tool, your marketing team can see those sales funnels and also come back to you with specifically proactively that these are the engagements we create. So seek their collaboration at the account level, not at a segment level only. Use marketing for account penetration, farming, and also for selling, cross-selling, upselling, cross-selling. So this is very key. This is where ABM can become a crucial tool for you in your solution selling for large value customers. There's something called executive engagement. You can use marketing resources, some of their resources, human resources, automation, tools, money, to map key accounts in your senior connections in your major accounts, and use executive engagements to amp up your CXO relationships. If you're selling a large deal, it's unlikely one customer connect will buy from you. On your side, there'll be a team selling to the customer. On the customer side, also, there'll be a team managing the relationship and taking you through different selling stages or buying stages. And you can use executive engagement to open up those conversations. Let me give an example, which is from my last startup, which I exited and I sold. So what happened was there was a CMO in a bank in Bombay. And despite our sales guys doing everything they could not open that connection. And it was very large BFSI customer was a bank. So their volumes for our business was very high. So my sales guys came to my marketers and said, what can you do for us? Guess what? That particular customer was very specialized.
Punit, sorry, we lost you in the middle. If you can just start off again with the story. Apologies.
Where was I last? Just remind me.
You just started and the network actually went off. So if you can just start with the story once again.
Okay. The story is about how my salespeople in my last company, a company that I exited, built and scaled, they were not able to get in touch with a customer CMO in this case, of a large bank. They tried everything. And it didn't lead to much results, much engagement. There was no opening that we were getting in the customer account. Customer knew about us. The CMO knew about us, but was not calling us for any conversation. He didn't think of very highly of the brand. There was no connection before. So he didn't think of us as very high. So they came to marketing and they said, what can you do for us to get in touch with this CMO? We found out that he was a specialist in one marketing automation area, this particular CMO. And we also found out that the industry body that we were part of, they were looking for an industry speaker like him in Bengaluru. Now, this customer is in Bombay. So we reached out to the particular industry association and we said, we have a particular speaker nomination. And if you can get that person to come to your platform and talk about what he's specialized in marketing automation part or a specific segment, it'll be of great value to your customer event in Bengaluru. We were not sponsoring that event. We're just members of the industry body. They said, great going, but you know what? We may not be able to fund their travel from Bombay to Bengaluru and back. We can offer them accommodation if they come to Bangalore. So we said, why don't you reach out to them, to this particular CMO? And if he agrees to come to Bengaluru, we'll be happy to sponsor their flight costs to the industry body, not to him directly. So we did that, right? We sponsored our target CMO's return ticket to Bengaluru. And when he went to Bengaluru, at the event, the industry association thanked him after his session and said, thank you, my company also, for enabling this session. So he was very intrigued. He said, what has this company got to do with my session? We didn't claim that credit. We never went to the CMO and said, you know what, we are sponsoring your ticket. We are nominating you to that industry event. Then the executive director of that association shared the entire detail of what had transpired. You know what happened after this? The CMO went back to Bombay, called my sales rep and said, next week, come by and see me. And I also got to know later, a few months later, that he also called our competition and said, look at this company. I don't do any business with them, but they're nominating me to customer events. They're paying for my ticket. And look at you. What have you done for me for the last 7 years that we've been customers of your business? Look at marketing, how it created new opportunities. A salesperson cannot think like that because they're busy with transactions, with customer account and relationships. So use executive engagement, which is one of the key aspects of marketing function, to amp up and create newer sales relationships with key customer contacts, CXOs in your customer accounts. I'm happy to take some questions in this area if you like to learn for more examples. But when you go to marketing and when you ask for account-based marketing, executive engagement, or ask them to help you open up newer channels of communication, it is possible that marketing can come and help you. Fifth best practice I've seen is social proof selling. Many of you are in sales for some time. Word of mouth or reference leads are the best leads. They're pre-qualified. There's a lot of positivity around them. And it's easier to convert word of mouth references than cold calls. When you call somebody, it's difficult to close a deal and take them through different selling stages towards closure. How do you make word of mouth happen? How do you leverage marketing to help you create a higher level of word of mouth? How do you amplify? You have some customers, you manage those relationships. How do you make them visible? So make your client visible. Speaker opportunities, I shared with you one on newer CMO relationship, but it's equally true for current relationships. In a customer account, you're engaging with procurement manager, functional manager. You want to engage somebody higher in that company. You can get better value of the relationship if you can engage with some higher ups in that company. Marketing can help you. Marketing can create speaker opportunities, can conduct media interviews to make your client visible. This is somebody in the customer account that you're dealing with. You want to make them successful. You want to make them look good. This is a potential opportunity. Make your clients' success visible. Nominating them for industry awards. Creating case studies, submissions for awards on their behalf. You'll be surprised, friends, that even in large brands that I've been part of, chota brand to chhodi do, customers are not willing to be case studies. Very reluctant. The customers we wanted, marquee customers, blue chip companies from India, as our case studies, they're not interested. Because what's in it for them? So we got this entire idea around awards nomination for industry awards, legit awards. We're not buying those awards, but we're creating compelling case studies and submitting them to those industry platforms. And when your customer's success is recognized by industry platform, and your customer knows that you have had a role to proactively play this part, they love you for this. Very often, they don't want to go on stage and receive the award if they win the category just by themselves. They'll call you also on the stage. So look, you also played a part. Why don't you join me when I receive this award on stage? So make your client's success visible. And even if they don't win the industry award, the nominations you've written for them, it's been pre-approved internally by their board, by their CXOs. Now, guess what? Even if they don't get the industry award, you have pre-approved material which can be somewhat converted into a client case study. So look how marketing came to help build reference material. Leverage a references program. What is a references program? Customer references. Hey, I'm buying this product from you. Do you have similar customers who have bought this and implemented this? Leverage customer references program. Marketing, one of the KPIs for marketing is to build customer advocacy and references program. And you can contribute to it by nominating your customers and also by learning from other customers towards your prospects. Customer advocacy through user groups. Salespeople love to go to events where you can get new customers. But guess what? If you host your customers, current customers who have paid their money to you, they're using a product service. In user group meetings, very often you start seeing more referrals come to you from the same users. The same customer, when he's in the office, his dynamics, his relationship with is very different. When you host them for a user group meeting in a nice setting, you break bread with them, you spend an evening with them, they're more than happy to give you most customer referrals. In fact, I've used this extensively in the last company I built from scratch, homegrown, incubated personally, bootstrapped through personal funds. And before we had a prospect event, we created user groups. And when you invite them to a user group, one, you get a lot more information about their current status in that company, current account, who all is navigating the business in current account. And many times when they leave the company and they move to a new brand, they invite you there as well. So customer advocacy and user groups are an important tool which sales should leverage. And guess what? Marketing does have budgets for this. Don't run user groups yourself. Let them run it for you. But they'll be happy to create this for you. How sales has leveraged marketing through collaboration, through partnership, through sharing, and mutual success. And my bonus for you, I promised you 2 bonuses, 1 bonus at least. There are 2 books that you should read if you're actively building your sales career, investing so much of your time, money, effort in building your sales skills. These are 2 books I would recommend, and I'll tell you why. Ramesh Dorairaj has run multi-million-dollar contracts business with Genpact and other large companies. And it's a beautiful book on what games customers play and how the buyer-seller relationships have changed. So it's a must read if you want to graduate towards each customer giving a lot more money per order, larger deals, lucrative deals. And also Subroto Bagchi's bestseller on selling. It's a beautiful thing when you read about his experience in selling and how this has changed. Besides everything that people will tell you what sales should do, become a good communicator, blah, 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 all those things are important. But know your customer like nobody's business in your company. That's the number one thing. If you research your customer, know your customer, how they use the product, how they do not use the product, who are the different stakeholders. So that's the one part, which is if you know your customer better than anybody else in your company, you'll be successful. Even if short term you see some challenges, quota nahi mil raha, but those deep customer insights is one way to propel yourself. And please stay focused on this one. Most of us salespeople leave the last 5%. You know what the last 5% is? Handhold the customer through change and through success towards what they wanted to achieve by buying your product and service. So one is external, which is customer. Know your customer. And this is the advantage I have. Being a marketeer now on the other side of the table, because I know my customers, because I've spent time in field sales. And you know what? Despite challenges in tech, AI, automation, digital, the field engagement, customer engagement once you have tasted it, sampled it, it stays with you. Many of you will start with sales, but very soon will become CXOs in companies. You'll become larger than sales. But these learnings will stay with you. Even today, few decades later, I reflect back on my sales engagements, customer experience, to craft something of value. When you start thinking about your business through the eyes of the customer, through the proverbial shoes of the customer, then you start becoming successful as a salesperson. That's one external. Second is collaboration. If you're working in a small brand, you can still collaborate with industry partners, people who have same customer like you in mind, same prospect like you in mind. Can you collaborate with them? If you're working in a large brand, then understand how can you collaborate with technology specialists, with pre-sales, with post-sales, with marketing, with CEO, for example. If you work in a very young startup, learn to leverage CEO's time to make some FaceTime meetings with your customer and prospect early on, not later. So 2 parts. One is collaboration, and the second one is knowing your customer. These 2 will stay relevant even with automation, AI, robotics, all of this coming together. The deal is lost. You've lost that deal, but the relationship may not have been lost. So Please ensure that the relationship stays, the deal may get lost. So I'll give you an example. If the customer is not responding to you after you send the proposal, you can chase them, but don't haunt them. Then you're losing the relationship also. So stay on course with the relationship. Just because you had a sales engagement going for 8 months, you're wishing him on wedding anniversary and birthday, and now that person has not given you business and you move away, you've lost also the relationship. So if you stay focused on keeping the relationship going, later on, that customer will buy from you. I lost a deal at a very large insurance company in Bombay. But the relationship was so strong, the CMO could not influence the procurement board in a large PSU-like setup to swing this deal for them. And we were 2x the cost of the nearest incumbent who were always there. So we could not close. They said, match that price and you have the deal. I said, we'll not match the price. We're better than them. That's why we'll not be able to. So I lost the deal. But the relationship ensured with the CMO that I got 8 more referrals over the next 2 years from the same person. So please do not lose the relationship. As salespeople, we start pestering a lot. So a lot of people who have not bought from you, it's absolutely fine for you to stay in touch with them. And of course, meet them for a cup of coffee. And of course, you can always ask them, you know what, 3 months back, you didn't buy from me. I'm just curious. You didn't buy from me. Tell me, how could I have done better? They'll tell you. They will not tell you 1 week after you lost a deal, but they'll tell you later. And sales career is 30 years. So you learn from those mistakes. So keep the relationship. Lose the deal, but don't lose the relationship. There could be 2 possibilities. The customer is still in the RFI stage. They're not in the RFP or RFQ stage. They're just building up some approximation that if I buy this, what will be my investment? So ask them whether they're looking for information to build a budgetary approval, or is it something that they have already in mind? Because then you can tell them. I always go by my higher estimate of the pricing proposal. And if you've done everything right, Manish, the customers will tell you, I love everything about you, but you're twice as expensive as the last guy. So the first approach is always better, because then you're being transparent with the customer and say, look, this is the typical price at which I sell. Are you at the stage of buying? Then I can have some short-term discounts. I can make a compelling offer. So you can also say, do you have a budget in mind? Have you done your research? And same thing will happen to me. I was selling a platform for emailing, and we had customers who would peg the price at 1 paisa, and we were selling at 2 paisa, 2.15 paisa per email for large volume, non-spammy marketing communication campaigns. So very, very important for me, Manish, to understand where are they coming from. If they've met my competition, the lowest in the business with not good business practices, they will look at 1 paisa. So I would use that question to qualify. If they have a price in mind, and then I tell them, if 1 paisa is your budget, then please go with my competition, because that's the right place for them to be. They'll ask me why. I will not badmouth my competition, but I'll tell them honestly what I felt was happening between their business and my business. Set those pricing expectations early on. Let that not be a surprise in the proposal.